encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Hello to all of my motivators family. I thought I'd come on for a little bit and do a little bit of chit chat, something that is on my mind, something that I was thinking about. So I wanted to say hey to all my motivators family. Hi, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Hi, Kelly. Welcome in. I hope everybody's having an amazing Friday. I just want to come in with a short podcast conversation. So it's just this simple, You're the topic of discussion. Don't worry about it. How many of us have ever been the topic of discussion, but not in a good way, in a negative way? People have a way and a tendency of focusing on everything that we're doing in our life as if they are perfect themselves. Human beings are really something else, I'll tell you that. There's a lot of individuals that look at other people and they very freely talk about the flaws of others as if they have none, all of which is not true, okay? Every single person has flaws. Every single one. Hi, Miss Donna. How are you doing? Happy Friday. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Yeah, you're the topic of discussion. Don't worry about it. So I'm going to get into a little bit of the conversation that I have for today. And one of the points is people talk about others and we can't stop it. We can't stop other people from talking about us. And sometimes the reason that others talk about us is because they don't have enough courage to live life like you do. Live your life with joy, live your life with peace, live your life with forgiveness and joy and strength and all of those things. A lot of people, they look at other people and they become envious and jealous of the things that you can do. I know that before I started working on myself, before I knew how to be happy in my own skin, all I ever knew how to do was be negative. All I knew how to do is look at other people and like, how do they do that? And why do they do that? And why do they wear their hair and this and that? Like, hyper focused on other people. Meanwhile, my own issues, my own problems are facing me, and that's what a lot of people need to learn, that they need to learn to mind their own, focus on your own situation and what you have going on instead of being so focused on other people and what they have going on. I know one thing's for sure. I know I'm not perfect. I'm definitely not a perfect person. I'm a person that I have issues. I have real life problems. I have good days. I have bad days. I have in between days. But one thing is for sure is I know how to keep myself balanced. I know when I am feeling down or discouraged, I know how to take a break. And I think that that's so important, knowing that it's time sometimes to take a break and get back into focusing on yourself. Hey, Estad, how are you doing? Welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Happy Friday. And I have to say this to everybody: don't focus on other people, what they have going on. And I don't know why it is, but as human beings, sometimes we will put so much energy into what other people think about us, and not enough energy into what we think about ourselves and what we need, and give ourselves that peace and that strength, and leave other people alone, because we can't change them anyways. One thing that I have learned in my years is that people will be negative. We can't stop that. We cannot stop other people from being negative. We cannot stop other people from being judgmental. That's going to happen for until the end of time. People will always be judgmental. They'll be negative of you and your situation. They'll talk about that you should do this and you should do that. And at the same time, they're not going to help you. They're not going to help your situation. They're not going to help you financially. They don't know what you're going through. They don't know what your story is, and they don't care. They don't care. So I felt this message was an on time message because of something that I just recently dealt with. And I said, you know what? I'm going to bring this to my motivators family and talk about this for a little bit. Hey, to say family, how are you? Appreciate it. Yeah, people are stuck in their ways, especially when they get older. Yeah, when people get older, when people don't want to change, when people get confronted with the truth and the truth hurts them, the truth stings. They rather be focused on and being around people who are negative, people who aren't growing, people who are judgmental, because that's easier. It's easier to be in an environment with people who stay the same and don't elevate, no personal growth, just always staying stuck in the same perspective, around the same financial situation. But when a person has enough courage to live their life on their terms, people love to open up their mouth and to say things like, that will never work, or why do they think they shouldn't do that, that will never work out. How do other people know what will work for you? They don't know what has been downloaded inside of you. They don't know your background. They don't know your backstory. They don't know how encouraged you are to and motivated to accomplish things. They don't know how long you've been planning, how long you've been saving. They don't know all of any of those things or all of it. But people love to open up their big mouth with judgment, open up their big mouth with deceit, and deceive other people, or try to get people over to their side with negativity. But we're not going to do that. Okay. We know better. We're way more mature than that. We're way more mature because there's a lot of times, motivators, that we can respond. We can respond to a lot of things. We can cuss people out. You could do a lot of things. But is it really worth your mental health? Is it really worth raising your blood pressure? Is it worth, you losing your peace of mind because of a person who is low vibrational, judgmental, or just a negative person in general, a person who does not have enough courage to grow up? They're immature, low vibrational, stuck in their ways. And that's up to them. I never tell anybody that they have to do anything. I'm not that type of person. But one thing for sure about Marlene is nobody will ever tell me that I can't do things. Nobody will ever tell me why do I do things. Nobody pays bills over here. Okay? So if you have something negative to say, keep your comments to yourself, because I don't want to hear it. Period. I don't want to hear any negativity. If you can't have anything positive to say, keep your negativity to yourself. People will always bring the negativity, the negative energy, the drama, and we can't stop it. But one thing that we can do is choose how we respond to it. Are you going to be yelling and screaming? Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes you do have to confront things, but there are also sometimes where you shouldn't. It's the people that you know aren't worth it. You know, these aren't the people that are on your team, on your side. You know, they're not a progressive person. They're a person who stays stuck in the past, or, just they just stay in the present. They only want what is here and now. They're not looking for elevation and growth. And no, they just want to stay the same. And of course, everybody has those choices to make, but nobody should tell another person that they can't do better and be better. And why do you think you're better than other people? That's where I have to draw the line. And it's time for me to speak up and to say, no, Marlene doesn't think she's better than anybody. I've put in a lot of work into myself to be the strong woman that I am today. A lot of work, a lot of tears, a lot of courage, great friendships, mentors, therapy, because the old me would have just went on the side of my mouth and cussed you out in patois, or would have just blocked you or something like that. But the woman that I am today, I'm going to put you up on some game. Before you come over here with your judgments, work on your own household, work on your own maturity. Okay. That's what I will say. Work on your own maturity first. First, find out what you're talking about before you come, because you're not talking to a little girl. You're talking to a grown woman, period. One thing that we can do, one thing we can do is don't let other people get to us. Now, I know what you're saying. I know what everybody's thinking. Oh, Marlene, that's easy for you to say. When somebody says something to you, the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to handle my business. Yeah, I get it. Like I said earlier, there's a time to respond and there's a time to not respond. But when it's your time to respond, make sure that it's somebody that is worth it. There are certain individuals that are not worth it, especially on apps of social media. These are people who don't know you. They don't know you from the next person. They look at us, they watch your content, and then they form their opinions about you. But their opinions is irrelevant. Just focus your energy on people who actually do rock with you and actually do support you. And then forget about the rest. Forget about the rest. That's all I can say. Yeah, they do. Big mouths. Thank you, East. I appreciate it. Yeah, negative people aren't progressive. They just think, yeah. Hey, Alicia, how are you doing? Happy Friday. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. So, I just wanted to say that keep being yourself, even when you're the topic of discussion, topic of conversation, when people have you on their mouth, whether it's social media, it's on the job, within your family, your quote unquote friends, your quote unquote relatives. People will always have something to say about you. Some of it's true, some of it is lies, some of it is a little truth and a little bit of lie all mixed up together. But at the end of the day, why do we allow others to get that much power over us? And I wanted to say this because we can't let others have power over our mind, over our heart, over all of those things. And I could have got caught up in that, went live yelling and screaming, but I choose to respond with love because that's the space that I am in. Many years ago, I would have did something quite different. But I'm in a different space. I'm in a space of peace and love. So even to my enemies, even people who hate me, I wish you love. Even to the ones that want my demise, I wish you love. I wish you peace. I hope you come to a space in your life where you can learn to love yourself and you can also learn to respect others, even others that have a different opinion than yours. Yeah. And keep being yourself. I think that that's a very important thing. And I know this one is one of the hardest things is sometimes we just don't respond. Just don't respond because people are going to believe what they want to about you or about your situation or about what they heard because people already have made their judgments, who they're going to like, who they're not going to like, and all of that, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, it's about it's about you, you know. People can't get into your head. People can't have power and energy over you unless you give that away. And a lot of times we give away our power, our energy. And the question is why? Why? Why are they worth it? Why are they worth any of your time? Why are you even responding to them? Why do they even matter? Why? It makes no sense because they're actually irrelevant in your life. They're actually irrelevant. There's a lot of people that feel that their opinion is so valuable and they get a rise from that when they see you. You're upset, you're screaming, you're this, because some people, they have nothing but negativity in their life because they haven't healed, because they don't love themselves, because there's no peace, there's no joy in their life. So they want to make you miserable just like them. But in instances like that, don't even respond. Those are the times where I tell people, I hope you have peace. I wish you love. Go in peace. Go with love. I hope you find peace spiritually. That's the only way that you can help other people sometimes. You just wish them well. No, say a prayer for people because you never know what another person is going through and dealing with. And sometimes people will say things not even because you bothered them, but because they woke up on the wrong side of the bed and you were the first person that whatever popped up in their feed, or they encountered at work, or maybe they're going through something in their home and maybe you're a relative and they've been holding some grudge or animosity against you, and then you get the smoke. So, you know, it's up to other people, but I always say communication is a real thing. And people who honestly matter will communicate in a mature way. They will communicate with you, talk you talk to you through things. And if a person doesn't, they don't talk to you, and there's like little, what do you call it? Signals that they're trying to send, like little hidden clues, or like giving thing, like saying insinuations of certain things, insinuating or trying to say things without not saying it. You all know what I'm getting at. There are people who are like that. They want to say something, but at the same time they don't want to say it to make it seem like they're not the problem and you're the problem. A drama person. But we don't have to take part in that. We don't have to be a part of it. Hey goddess, how are you doing? Welcome. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Hey Shay, just the message you needed. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Let me put the let me put the link here. If there's anybody who has something and you would like to voice your comments. I felt like there was a reason why I went live to talk about this. And another thing that I have to say is that your peace is too valuable to be disrupted. It is. It really and truly is. We go through too much in our lives. Life is too fragile. It's, you know, life, you're here one day and you're gone the next. You should never let other people get you to the point of you have no peace in your life. You should never let other people make you feel less than or cause your mental health to be disrupted because they're on some power trip, they're on some negativity, they're immature, they're whatever, they're jealous, whatever the situation may be, they're evil, whatever the case may be for that individual. But don't let other people disrupt your peace. Remember that your peace is your choice, and you got to take possession of it. Hey, Shay.
Hey, Marlene. I have my Bluetooth in. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I hear you well.
Okay, okay. I know sometimes it's Bluetooth acts up. Hey, everybody that's tuning in on today. Honey, your messages are always right on time, Marlene. You truly are a godsend. I know I've told you that dozens of times, but you truly are. So I just want to tell you that really quickly.
Thank you.
But yeah, just adding on to what you said though, yeah, sometimes you'll just be the topic of the conversation, and in some cases, it'll be in a negative way. But one thing I've learned is to shy away from distractions, and it takes a strong-minded person to do such because people can be brutal. People can be harsh and downright just hard up on you, and we just have to look past those things. One thing I've noticed is the attacks are always going to be biased. They'll always be one sided. And I think back, I know I've been following you for quite some time, and excuse me. And you just never think that certain information will pertain to you. We never think we'll end up in certain situations. But as you mentioned, we can't let that get us off course. We can't let people um, ruin our character. I just like and probably many of us here. It's a job. It's a commitment. It's a commitment to do the right thing. It's a commitment to stay focused. It's a commitment to remain in alignment. And the truth of the matter is, things happen. We get into situations, but it's more so about how do you handle those situations after the fact. Are we going to let things bring us down? Are we going to let things destroy our peace? And I
Hmm.
said that the other day. The peace is one thing that we cannot just easily get back. It takes a lot of hard work to attain peace. You can't go and buy it. You can't borrow it. So, I thank you for sharing this message here. Excuse me, my son just hopped in my lap
Thank,
coughing.
thank,
But
thank, thank you, Shay. I wanted to welcome East Dad up here.
oh, I didn't see he came up. Go ahead.
Hey, East.
Oh, hi, how are you? Jay, it's always a pleasure. Marlene, it's always a pleasure. I have to uh I have to just quickly say, because obviously I'm at work, but I just wanted to say I know that you're about your business and that you're very serious about it. And I want to apologize once again because I can't, for some reason, find myself not to just to stay on topic with it. I don't know. Maybe it's just my personality when I'm here or whatever, but I don't know why I sometimes fall off into this joking fashion, and I just wanted to apologize for that. Again, back on the topic that you're talking about, like I don't understand mental health. I don't. It's hard for me to comprehend things like when people commit suicide and things like that. Like, I just can't comprehend how people get themselves to that point. I guess that's just the way my mind works because I don't know. I grew up in that household where committing suicide is a mortal sin, and you don't there's no forgiveness for that and things of that nature. So for people to allow themselves to get so mentally, or maybe not allow themselves to get to that point, but if you're so mentally fragile that someone can get you to the point where you could take your own life, or you could, I don't know what it is, but I really struggle trying to understand people that are allowed to get to bring themselves to that situation, you know. And that's all I really had to say. I mean, I wanted to type it, but I'm just finishing up my break, so I just want to say happy Friday to you guys. I'm gonna jump down and shut my mouth, and y'all have a good weekend, and I'll see y'all on another. You know,
Thank you.
all right, I appreciate it, Marlene. See you later.
No problem.
All right.
Yeah, and I wanted to say to everybody, and East mentioned, mental health and those who get to the point of unaliving themselves. And that's a topic that I take very seriously. Until you go through certain situations in your life, I guess you can't get it until you get it. It doesn't apply to you until it applies to you. And I always speak with respect because about that, because I went through that for a really long time. And I will always say to anybody who feels that their mental health is in that position and you feel like you don't want to be here anymore, don't take that lightly. And if somebody tells you that, don't take that lightly. Um, that person needs support, that person needs love, and that person does not need any judgment. Yeah, all of those things. Thanks, Shay, for coming up. I appreciate it. One thing about this life is that you don't have to convince anybody who you are. You don't have to convince other people of what you go through. You really don't. You don't have to convince anybody of who you are. You don't have to convince anybody of what your situation is. Everybody's situations is different. People's financial situation is different. People's circumstances, people's health, everybody is different. But one thing that should be among human beings, and that is respect. And yeah, some people's personality, is a little more abrasive than others. And then there are people who are just so kind and so open. And, whatever side of the spectrum you fall on, whether you're a very kind and sweet person or, you tend to speak your mind and your thoughts, one thing that's important is that we respect one another. Mutual respect is important, and that's one thing that I will always say. I always will respect others until they make it apparent that they don't want to respect me. You know, Respect is definitely, definitely earned. We have Alicia back here. Let's welcome her to the show.
Hi, Marlene. Hi, Joe.
Hi.
Happy Friday.
Happy
Um,
Friday.
I appreciate everyone's candid share. I was compelled though when Easted shared because, like you said, Marlene, I get it that if you've never experienced it, it is really hard to understand. And
Mhm.
if you're not I've always been kind of jealous of people that have that kind of thought of like, I just can't wrap my head around that possibility. And my thought has always been, that must be nice.
Yeah.
um, but I would, I guess, want to say that, even the use of the phrase like mental fragility has like a negative connotation, I think, in that it's still like, as you said, East, that it is still mental health, right? It's health. And it is personal to each of us, just like all of our health. But all health is fragile. All health needs to be like taken care of and maintained. And so what I might have to do to maintain my heart health might be different than you. And just like what I might have to do to maintain my mental health might be different than you as well. But like Marlene said, I having like hard fought for your peace, it is something that then you don't give up easily either. And I guess the other thing I just wanted to say is for anyone who is experiencing um, challenging emotions right now, or feelings of lack of self-worth or hopelessness, just know it gets better. um, and I am grateful that I held on, because then I wouldn't have experienced the things that I did get to experience. um, just a note that if sometimes the only thing you can do is like get back to, oh, let me just try to make it to the next breath, like just make it to the next breath, and then maybe you can build up to making it to the next hour, and then the next day, etc. But just
Right.
it gets better.
Yeah, and I will add to what you said, Alicia, with all the respect as well. I this is a judgment-free zone. Everybody goes through different situations and handles things different and has different cultures, and you could never understand the traumas that other people have dealt with, and we sometimes will struggle to understand why people are the way they are, but you don't know what they have had to handle. And it's to me, I feel like it's amazing, almost a miracle that people are still around, because carrying all of that weight in your head, and it's like a scratch record. It replays over and over and over again, and it's not the easiest to deal with it. And that's why I always say, I always speak to my audience, to all of my motivators family. Mental health is important. If your mental health is not in a good space, don't ignore it. Don't listen to other people when they say you shouldn't feel that way, because sometimes it's a reason why you're feeling that way. Maybe you need to focus on yourself for a little bit and stop worrying about other people, because life is stressful and difficult and challenging. So if you feel you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. And I mean the right people, right, Alicia? The right people.
Yeah, I mean, I've certainly even used, how do I say this and not mess up your channel? Hotlines that are there
Yes.
for people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need to, but I guess my last thing, and I will relinquish my time, is that that's also again why I started like closing my things with always "you're more than enough" and "I love you," because it took me a long time to feel that way about myself, and and not not believing that is something that really impacts your mental health. So it's something I wish for everyone, that they always know that they are more than enough and they are loved.
Oh, I love that, Alicia. I love that. Thank you so much for coming up and sharing that. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
No, just second what Shay said. Thanks for all your content, Marlene, and your consistency. It's always right on time.
Oh, thank you, Alicia. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for coming up.
You too.
And I also wanted to say to anybody in the audience, if you feel like you're going through so much, the weight of the world, how this world is. And I know for many people, going through the 19 and isolating at home, and everything is supposed to be back to normal, whatever normal is supposed to be. But there's a lot of people who are still suffering with their mental health from being isolated for many years, and what happened during the 19, and losing people that they loved during that time, and relationships that fell apart in the 19. So there's a lot of things that happened in the 19 that people don't want to talk about, because it's an uncomfortable conversation. And I'm really happy for those that went through the 19 and nothing happened to them. I'm very happy for you. But I can say, going through the 19, I lost a brother in the 19. I lost a job. I lost an important relationship of somebody that I really loved, and found out that it wasn't what I thought it was. So sometimes we experience loss through hard times, but it brought us right back to where we needed to be. It taught us how strong we were. It taught us how resilient we are and how courageous. And to, like I said, anybody who's suffering with their mental health today, I hope you get some rest. I hope you go to a place where you can experience some peace, getting out in nature, going for a walk, going to the gym, reading a book, light a candle, watching something that makes you laugh, speaking positive affirmations over your life, and making phone calls to people who actually care for you. That's why I always speak about this all the time. Make sure you connect with people who truly care about you and not just people who use you. You don't want people in your life that only call you when they want something. You want people in your life that will call you just because I call you, just because I was thinking about you. I don't want anything from you. All I want is your friendship. All I want is your love. All I want is to be able to see you happy. All I want is peace. And I speak that um, with full transparency over everybody's life. I wish you the best in your life. I hope all your dreams come true. I hope you're at a space where you are experiencing peace. I hope there's joy in your life. I hope you're maintaining your mental health. I hope you're taking care of your physical body. I hope your spirit is on the up and up, that you have positive vibes only. But it's something that we have to work really hard to achieve. Really, really hard to achieve. Yeah, all of those things. Let's see what I missed here in the comment section. Hi, LP. How are you doing? Welcome. Hi, Isel. Hi, Jesus Christ. How are you doing? Welcome. So, I just wanted to say to everybody who is here in the chat, it's just a reminder to stay vigilant. It's a reminder to know how important you are, how special you are, and that you have worth. You have worth. You have value. You are somebody who, you know, there's a reason why you're here. You have a reason to exist. You have a reason to continue on. Keep on, keep on, keep on, keeping on. That's what I will say. Hey, Cola, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. You know, there's a reason why, you exist. Not for, you know, you getting anything from anyone, but when you find your true tribe, your circle of love, your place of peace and rest, a safe place where you can fall, that there's no judgments, that you're around that sort of love in your life, it's a gift. So if you have people like that in your life that love you unapologetically, they love you for, no matter, with all your flaws and all your drama, all of it. They love you for all of it. Be grateful and make sure you tell those said people, I love you. I care about you. You matter to me. I don't take you for granted. Thank you for everything. Don't take one person for granted, because you never know. Okay? You never know. So it's just a reminder to stay vigilant and to pay attention to who you have in your life, who you trust, you know. And that brings me to my point right here. Don't tell people your secrets and your business, okay? Don't do it. Okay? Don't tell people your secrets and your business. I know that it's a very easy thing to do, because many times we feel like we can trust people, right? We feel that, oh, that's my family, that's my relatives, quote unquote, that's my friend, that's my spouse, significant other. And We think that these are trustworthy people. We think that they are individuals that have our best interests at heart and they want to see us succeed. But what I have to say is beware, okay? Beware of the evil, beware of the wolves in sheep's clothing. It's usually the ones that we trust the most that hurt us the most because we're not expecting for it to be these individuals because our guard has been let down, because we've let them in, because we've told them certain things, because you've gone through certain things with people. But I always say, be careful who you tell your deepest, your darkest secrets to. Be careful who you tell your dreams to. Be careful, what you tell, who you tell, the direction that you're moving forward in, because there are going to be people who are going to try to come in, sabotage your success, throw a monkey wrench in your plans. And as Donna Just Being Real always says, people who are like crabs in the barrel, they're going to try to drag you down, okay, with their negativity. Don't let them. Don't let them, okay? You got to know yourself. You got to love yourself. And you have to pay attention to the warning signs. You have to pay attention to how a person makes you feel. When a person's vibes is off, when their spirit is off, when they're acting brand new, like, they're talking out of two sides of their mouth. Just like they're not coming at you straight. They're kind of insinuating certain things, or you see that it's kind of judgmental or something that you don't like it, pay attention to that. Our spirit tells us when something is off with somebody. Our spirit always is on point, but you got to pay attention to that negative energy or the double talk, or when you're starting to hear certain things that they have this and that to say about you, but they don't say it in front of your face. They come at you with a smile, but they got a knife behind their back ready to attack. So be vigilant. Be vigilant, my motivators. Be aware of evil and the wolves in sheep's clothing. Okay, stay vigilant. Yes, we can trust people, but we don't know one's true intentions. You don't know what other people are trying to do, how they're trying to get to you, and all of those things. So, like I always say, stay vigilant. And like always, don't ignore the vibes if they're off. Yeah. If you feel something is off, sometimes that's a warning sign for us to back off from people. Not all the time that it's with an evil motive, but maybe they're going through something at the moment and maybe they can't support you, or maybe their energy is off, so they're going to take you down. So the best thing to do is sometimes you got to give people some room to grow, some space to mature. you know Unfortunately, some people don't realize how good of a person you are to them. People don't realize the gem you are. They don't treasure your friendship, they don't treasure your love, they don't treasure your, who you are in their life, whether, you that's your child, whether it's a husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, a friend, a sister, a workmate. Sometimes people don't actually appreciate everything that you bring to the table and who you are until you're gone. And that is unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. And by the time that they realize what a gem you are, what a treasure you are, all of the good things that they had, and I had it so good, it's too late. It's too late. There are some things that you can fix, but there's certain things after so much has transpired and so much pain has happened and so much trust has been lost, that there's absolutely no way of recovery. So, like I was saying, from the very beginning, you know, when you're the topic of discussion, don't worry about it. Let people do what they're going to do. Let people say what they're going to say. Let them, okay? Let them. They're not adding to your household. They're not paying your bills. Leave them alone. Who cares about them? They don't know your situation. They don't know how good of a mom, a dad, a brother, a sister, a auntie, a cousin, a grandma, a brother, a father, a friend, a loved one, a wife, a husband, whatever the situation, whatever the shoe fits. They don't understand how good they have it until it's gone. So, to all of my motivators family, if you have people in your life and you cherish them, whether it's a sibling, whether it's a friend, and you've come, like, some situation has happened between you, have a little rift, you guys are upset with each other, take your space for a little bit, reconvene, and if that person is important to keep in your life, have the conversation. you know, Heal it if it can be healed. And if not, let them know how they made you feel and then move on with your life. So, when you're the topic of discussion, I know that it hurts. I know it hurts when people talk about you, when they throw you under the bus, or you didn't get the support and the love that you deserved, and all of that. You feel disrespected, unappreciated. I know it's not easy, but don't focus on the ones that aren't giving you what you want and desire. Focus on the ones that are already giving you that. And give your energy into finding better friends, people who actually will support you, not running after people who don't. You don't have to beg for love. You don't have to beg for support. You don't have to beg for friendship. You don't have to beg for kindness or people spending time with you. People who care about you will freely give you that. If somebody wants to do something for you, if somebody wants to be there for you, they will be. No excuses. Whatever is important to somebody, they will give it to you. All of those things. Hey, Maria, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Friday. Yes, it's not easy, but it's doable. It surely is. I just wanted to come with this message and encourage everybody and let you all know to not give up. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't listen to other people. They don't know you. They're not in your shoes. They don't live in your day-to-day life. They don't know what you're going through. They don't pay no bills in your house. You know, leave them alone. Ignore them and keep on going about your business. One thing that nobody can stop is what you think about yourself. I always will reiterate that over and over again on this channel. Even if other people don't love you, don't appreciate you, don't consider you, but make sure you love, appreciate, and consider yourself. Self respect is a must, self awareness is a must. And if there are people in your life and they're taking advantage of you, okay? Listen, motivators family, if you have people in your life and they are taking advantage of you, leave them alone. You cannot change them. You cannot change a negative person and make them positive. You cannot make an immature person mature. You cannot make an irresponsible person responsible. You cannot make an unsupported person support you. That's a decision that every adult has to already possess. We can't, this is not Build a Bear. We cannot switch this about this person and fix and match things because it's what we want. People do what they want to do, but we have to make a decision to say whether we're going to accept it or we're going to leave them alone and move on. That's it. Yeah, I need to work on that part, but I will say, I only say things to those that personally affect me. Exactly. Exactly, Cola. They affect you, so you have to let them know how you feel. Yes, exactly, Cola. That's the whole thing. That listen, you're speaking to the crowd on this one, Cola. I'm definitely I'm a woman of very few words. I don't say much, but when I do say something, I have a lot to say. Yeah. Mm, yes. So I just want to say to all of you motivators family, keep your head up, know your business, love yourself, respect yourself, and to anybody, if you're suffering with some mental health issues, you feel overwhelmed, please talk to somebody that you can trust, not just anybody, someone you can trust that's going to be understanding, that's going to be compassionate, that will listen to you and will encourage you to go on another day. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you. I hope that this message supported someone, encouraged someone, got somebody thinking. And I know that I feel better. This is a therapy session for me to get some things that was going on in my head off of my head and off of my heart. Hi, Oracles channel. How are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shay. I definitely appreciate it. You know what I have to do. You know what I have to do when the super chat hits. Thank you so much, Shay. Okay. Thank you so much, Shay. I really appreciate it. Okay, got a question from Cola. Marlene, do you think taking care of yourself is standing up for yourself? Self advocacy is a part of my self care. Yes, I do think self care is, for me, is having my boundaries. And I had to stop having the expectations of other people knowing what I was feeling. You have to know how you feel. You have to know what you're going through, and you have to know when you've reached your peak, you've reached your limits. When, before you get to the point where your cup is empty, you coming to the realization that I need to stop. I need to fill up my cup. I need a break. I need a rest. Whatever it is that you need, and do those things for yourself. And don't wait till you get rock bottom to where you have a mental breakdown. You start having some health issues and all of those things. I'm always going to advocate. Always, always, always going to advocate for mental health, for self-love, self-respect, all of those things. So. Yes. Yeah, it's a great question. Great question. Thank you so much for asking it. And definitely stand up for yourself. Speak up for yourself. Know your own personal limits. Okay? Know your own personal limits. So I appreciate every single one of you for coming through, supporting this live stream. And you know what I say over here all the time on Marlene Motivates? Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life. I will see you all back on Sunday. We're going to do a stream on a very important topic. I will see you all then. Everybody have a great Friday. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you back on the next one.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life. forgive me. I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? I forgive me. I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? Ooh, oh.